Hello, you guys. Welcome back to Lily Reads. I am lit poorly because there's no window in front of me, but there's a window behind me and there's a window beside me. Therefore, I am side lit and backlit, which is the worst type of lit to be. If there was a window right in front of me, this would look amazing, but there's not. So I had to start the vlog. We are going to do a Christmas vlog. I did a Christmas vlog last year, and I'm just like, let's bring it back. These vlogs are usually short, something you can just throw on maybe when you're cooking, just something to just put on, nothing that deep. And we're going to read one book, and it is from Book of the Month. I started my year doing a Book of the Month video. I'm going to end my year doing a Book of the Month video. So Book of the Month usually always has some type of Christmas book that they are peddling to us at the end of the year. And I did not buy any Christmas book. I do own Christmas books, but I wasn't interested in reading any of them. I had them out for like decor, but I didn't actually want to read any of them. I could have. I need to just start doing Book of the Month sponsorships at this point because I show Book of the Month on my channel more than the people who goddamn get paid to show Book of the Month on their channel. Ways. It came with stickers. Oh, that's exciting. That's exciting. It came with stickers, and if you know anything about me, I love stickers. I'm getting really into planning this year, like having a planner, like filling the planner out and doing that, and these stickers would be perfect to put for December of 2024. I was already gonna buy stickers. I'm going to keep those. So we have this beautiful book. This book is so beautiful. I love the cover, everything. It's called A Winter in New York. And I was just like, if I am going to read a Christmassy book, it has to be this Christmassy book because number one, I do love the cover. Number two, the writing is in pink, and I think that is so pretty. More people should put their covers in pink. This is just a nice color scheme. And then I love New York City. I love New York City. I love New York City during the winter months, and I want to move to New York City. So I was just like, this is perfect. This is something I can read all day now. This book is kind of long for a romance. You guys know I believe romance books should end on page 323 and not a page after. I think any romance book that is longer than 323 pages is carrying it. This book is like 360 pages. So it is long, but you know what? This is the end of the year, and we're only reading this book in this vlog. So throughout the day, I am just going to read 60 pages here, 50 pages there, and hopefully I'm enjoying it. Hopefully I do finish it. I really hope I don't end up being like, whoa, this is why Christmas books suck. Because Christmas books are notoriously like kind of bad. They're not really always that good. But I am going to read that. And today is kind of just going to be spent with me organizing my bookshelf. So you guys won't really see that because I like to get into the weeds when I'm doing my bookshelf. And I have not done my bookshelf in over a year. Like put my bookshelf in a way that I really want to see it. So I really want to get into the weeds with it. I really want to think about what book goes next to what, the size, how we're going to do it, where I'm going to put the books I haven't read, where I'm going to put the books I read, my favorite books. Should I put all my Book of the Month books together on the bookshelf instead of putting them by genre? What are we going to do? Do I do it by size? It's an all-day thing. I'm going to really think about it, get into it, because I'm not doing anything today. SpongeBob is on. They're having a SpongeBob Christmas marathon. So that is what I'm going to watch while I'm eating my breakfast. I have a vlog for Lily Reads to put up that is already up, obviously, when you guys are seeing this. I'm going to get that uploaded. And I'm about to make my breakfast. I'm about to make some coffee. And I will see you guys as we spend the day together. Hello, you guys. I am here to give some initial updates on the beginning of the book. So I have made it to page 100. I wanted to knock out 100 pages before I get started on my bookshelf upstairs. So at the very least, I have 100 pages read. So in this book, we are in New York City, and we are dealing with two different timelines from what I've gathered in the first 100 pages. So we start this book, it is Valentine's Day, and we have our main character, Iris, and Iris is at a bookstore for Valentine's Day because she wants to make herself happy. She doesn't have a Valentine, and there's a new book that she wants that is coming out. When she goes to reach for the new book, someone grabs the book from her, and it's this guy. And so she's like, this guy is kind of attractive, but I don't care. I need to get my book. So she tries to convince the guy not to get the book, and they get into like kind of a verbal spat. She says something about his wife. He gets defensive, says something about her husband. And Iris goes, I don't have a husband. My husband is dead. So he's kind of like, okay, this is awkward. They go their separate ways. He gets the book. No, he gives her the book. No, he gets the book. She leaves. They're mad at each other. We go to New York City 6 months later. And our main character, she is living in New York City, and she's telling us about her life in New York City. She was already living in New York City in Valentine's Day, but now she's giving us the lay of the land. So she is out at a food festival with her best friend, Bobby. Bobby is her landlord slash best friend, and also kind of slash boss as well, because Bobby owns an apartment complex that he inherited. He owns the whole building, and he owns the noodle restaurant at the bottom of the at a walk up. He owns a noodle restaurant in there, and basically she is a chef at the noodle restaurant, and by being a chef she gets to live in one of the apartments, and so she makes noodles, and Bobby is also her friend, right? Bobby lives with his husband also in the penthouse apartment building. So they are at this Italy festival, and they go into this gelato spot, and she's like, this gelato is so good, it's so good, this is amazing. And she notices she doesn't eat the gelato. She does not eat the gelato. She's just at the restaurant, and she notices a door. She notices a door, and she's like, this door is really, really familiar. I've seen this door before. So she goes home, and she looks through her mother's old stuff, and she sees that her mother used to visit this gelato restaurant, and she has memories of falling in love at this gelato restaurant. Now, her mother is dead. Her mother has been dead for 3 years. She got cancer, so she can't ask her mom, what about this gelato restaurant was so exciting? Is this the gelato restaurant? But she's like, I'm going to figure out what my mother's connection to this restaurant was. And also, is the gelato recipe that I like to use in our personal life, the gelato recipe that she got from them. So she needs to go to this restaurant, try their gelato, and then see what connection her mom had to this restaurant. So she goes back to the gelato restaurant, and she realizes they are no longer selling gelato because the man who knew the gelato recipe, did he fall? Something happened to him, and he lost his memory, and they don't know if they're going to get it back, and he's the only person who knew the recipe. So she meets this guy named Gio. Gio, maybe that's how you pronounce his name. I don't know. Gio? I don't know. Anyways, Italians, stand down. She meets him, and she realizes he's the guy from the bookstore. The guy who is running the gelato Italian restaurant is the guy she met at the bookstore on Valentine's Day. But they have decided to put that behind them because they are on a joint mission. Because the guy, which is Gio's uncle, he is in basically like he was in a coma. Now he can't remember anything. He's going to need her help in order to try to figure out the gelato recipe. They're going to try to figure out the gelato recipe. But when Iris tries the gelato, she realizes this is the exact gelato she makes almost every single night. But she doesn't want to tell Gio this because she doesn't want him to know that somebody in the family must have given away the gelato recipe to her mother at some point, and this is not some like deep family secret that they think it is. So she is trying to find a way to give him the recipe without making it seem like she gave him the recipe. So they're working together in order to be able to recreate the recipe while the uncle is still in kind of a coma, still kind of don't have his memory, and she's trying to figure out, how do I give him this recipe without him knowing it came from my mother? And also, there's an issue. Her husband's not dead. She lied about her husband being dead. But the thing is, his wife actually is dead. So he didn't even say that his wife was dead. He just said, I don't have no wife. But come to find out, his wife is dead. And her husband is still alive. They just had a big bad falling out. But she don't know how to say that to him once he says that his wife is dead, because now it look like she's just a big fat liar. So she's dealing with all of that. And of course, they kind of got a crush on each other. He has a daughter. He has a daughter named Bella who plays the piano. She's in this story. Then he has sisters. They're in the story. And that's that on that. Yeah. The other timeline is the mother back in New York in 1975 getting to know Felipe, who is probably, who knows, this guy named Felipe. We're trying to figure out how she got the gelato recipe, basically. So we're going back in time to the mother in 1975 to figure out what is her connection to this restaurant, because that's the whole mystery. Like, how did she know about this gelato recipe? How did she know about this restaurant? That's what's going on. So clearly by what I just told you, I'm going to give you guys spoilers. I feel like when you review one book in a video, you have to give spoilers, because what the fuck else would we talk about this book? So I just told y'all everything that happened in the first 100 pages of this book, and we'll just continue with that. I'm enjoying this well enough. Whenever I have not read, you guys, I have read 180 books this year. Outside of the book club, so 11 books, maybe 20 of those 180 were romance books. And usually I read about 50, 60 romance books a year. Definitely last year, I read about 50 romance books, and that is just not the case this year. So I haven't read a bunch of romance books, and the romance books I did read outside of the book club, I think I picked up via audio. So whenever I'm physically reading a romance book, I get reminded how easy it is to physically read a romance. There is no reason for me to have as many romance books sitting on my bookshelf as I do when they are so easy to read. I blew through these 100 pages. It's so easy to read a romance book compared to like other genres of books, because they're more like, I think, airy. I'm enjoying this book. We're in New York City. We're making gelato. It doesn't really feel Christmassy, but it feels, because gelato is a cold thing, and I think you associate gelato with warm, but it feels, I'm in the vibes. I feel like I'm in New York City, and what I like is that there's a good story here. This book isn't too flowery. Like, I feel like I'm dealing with real characters, real stuff. Characters have baggage. Now, are the issues stupid? Yes. She could 100% just give them the gelato recipe. She could just 100% tell this man she was lying. Her husband not dead. He's just weird. What else is going on in this book? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, the two main conflicts could be easily squashed. But like, what's the fun in that? What is the fun in that? This is supposed to be a nice, fun, warm New York City book about ice cream. I'm here. I am enjoying it. So that's that on that. I'm about to go upstairs. I'm going to make another coffee. I already drank my morning coffee. I'm going to make another coffee, and I am going to go do my bookshelf. It is time. It is time. The more I put it off, the more I don't want to do it. So I need to do it while the sun is still up, and I still am in like the vibes to do it. So that's what I am about to do. Yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace. We're in my office. Coffee has been made. Coffee number 2 of the day. I usually don't drink more than 1 coffee a day, but I'm gonna need it today because I gotta get this bookshelf right. There are books everywhere. Let me take you on a journey. Yeah. And the bookshelf looks a mess. The bookshelf has always looked a mess. It's looked a mess all year, but that changes today. that changes. I am about to put on an audiobook, not an audiobook of the book we're reading because I'm reading that physically. I'm gonna just turn something on and I'm gonna get this done. This is gonna take a few hours, but it's fun. It's a fun few hours, but it is gonna take a few hours because I need to go through, see if there's anything I want to get rid of. I gotta see how I want to organize because I do have 2 bookshelves that aren't in my office. I have a bookshelf upstairs that's in my loft and a bookshelf that's in my kitchen. The bookshelf in my kitchen, I like to put books that I'm going to read for the month, the books I'm interested in reading for the month, so like my monthly TBR. And then I think I want to turn the bookshelf in my loft to a bookshelf of new purchases, so I can always keep in mind the books that I purchase new so I can read them immediately. And then everything else I want to put on my bookshelf. The only books that I don't want to put on my bookshelf is my reading challenges for next year. So I have 2 reading challenges I think I'm going to do next year. One reading challenge I haven't taken the books off my bookshelf for. I'll do that after I organize. And then another one, those books are already off my bookshelf. So that's the only books I want not on my bookshelf. Everything else gotta make its way on the bookshelf. Hopefully, I want to move some stuff. So it's gonna take a few hours because you gotta play the game, make the puzzle pieces fit. But first, I gotta take everything off the bookshelf. Everything off the bookshelf. Start with a clean slate. The only thing that's not being touched is the shelf up there because I think the shelf up there is perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. It's completed series. So that's my series shelf. The only thing that needs to change is I need to put a series up there that I have completed this year. That's it. It's just completed series. I just needed to add something. There's no reason for me to have to get the step stool and play with that shelf. But 4 shelves under it do need to be played with. So that's what I'm about to do. I will talk to you guys when it's done. Peace. You guys, I have finished. That was gruesome. The first hour of organizing your bookshelf, oh, what fun. This is what books are made of, all the memories, all the future memories to be made. It's so fun. Then you start the second hour. The second hour starts off fine, but once that second hour starts to get to a close, it's exhausting. I am tired. I am sweaty for some reason. It's not even hot in here. I'm sweaty. I am hungry. I am thirsty. And I kind of don't want to even look at these books no more. Like, I am tired of looking at my own books. By the way, the question of how much room I have, here's the thing. I am someone who embraces the messy bookshelf. I think my bookshelves being messy kind of represent my personality. So I like the stacking and doing all the weird combinations. So to me, I know I can fit about 100 more books on this bookshelf. So I'm really not that worried. I think I'm fine. I think all next year I'll be able to. The only thing, because I'm thinking about this, like, I have new purchases still down here. Ooh. Some new purchases down there that I don't want to put on there. I want to put out into my loft. And then I have a few other books that I was going to get to this year that I haven't gotten to. And once I get those books on, because those are the books I'm going to read at the beginning of the year. Once I get those books on, everything else will be a read, replace. So like I'll put it right back in the same spot I did. So I don't think I need any more room. That's my opinion. You're probably looking like, girl, where you gonna put books? There's room. There's room. Do not worry. Anyways, I will see you guys later. Peace. Hello, you guys. So I did some sprints. I did an hour of sprinting and I read another 100 pages of this book. So just got about 150 pages left to go. I probably won't finish it tonight. But you guys want to know something? This vlog was supposed to go on so it's Christmas Eve today. Then tomorrow's Christmas Eve and then Christmas. I was expecting this vlog to go 3 days. I was not expecting me to eat through 200 pages of this book in today because I knew I had to do my bookshelf. But because I got those 100 pages done before I did my bookshelf. My bookshelf took a few hours, and then I just got another 100 pages done. Genuinely, if I really cared a lot, I could read the next 150 pages of this book and be done with it and end the vlog. But I think I'm just going to extend it into tomorrow a little. And maybe, you know, we'll see. We'll do some s'mores tonight, do some Home Alone tonight. Then tomorrow I have a gift of books I want to open with you guys, some new books that I have as gifts, and that will pretty much be it. And then we'll finish up the book. So I would just move it a little bit into Christmas, but I don't necessarily have to. But the next 100 pages. Okay, so the next 100 pages of this book are about Gio and Iris trying to build a relationship off lies, because Iris won't admit why she wants to help with the gelato and that her husband is dead. So at the end of the first 100 pages, Gio got really weird about Bella and Iris doing music together, because Bella is Gio's daughter. It clearly has something to do with like his dead wife and all of that, because she probably used to sing with her mom or something. So in these next pages, they make up, and basically Iris is just like, I'm going to still try to embrace New York City and getting out, because before she met Gio, she really didn't do much of anything in New York. By the way, I forgot to tell you guys, she is from the UK. She is from the UK and moved to the United States with her mother. I forgot to say that. But anyways, she's never really gotten out of New York since she's lived in New York. And so she's like, you know what? Even though I'm no longer helping Gio with the gelato, I'm still going to get out there. I'm still going to embrace New York City. So she starts going out and she sees this lady who is singing for money on the street. She joins the lady singing for money, and she goes kind of viral from singing on the street because she has such an amazing voice. But before that happens, I'm so terrible at telling you what happens in chronological order. Before that happened, Gio sent her a text message apologizing for everything that happened, and can she come back into the gelato spot and can they make up? She decides to do that. She goes to the gelato spot and they make up. While she's at the gelato spot, the person who actually married the guy that her mother fell in love with, Santos, his wife shows up. And it's like, hey girl, we having a family get together. You should come. And so, because everyone thinks that Gio likes Iris. So she's just like, sure, I'll come. So she goes to their family get together. They get close. They hang out. She sees Gio in a different way because he's kind of uptight at the shop because he's trying to figure out how he's going to get gelato and keep his family business running. But around his family, he's kind of laid back. He's loose, and she sees a different side of him. And so they take a cab ride back home, and they get to flirting with each other. They start asking, like, what are we? And when they're getting up the steps to go into her apartment, where she's going into her apartment, he kisses her. It's a really cute and sweet kiss. And so yeah, that kind of starts them in a relationship. Where I'm at now, their relationship being, they're having sex, how that goes. She just performed with Bella at Bella's school performance. Bella asked her to perform at her school performance, and she did it. So that went well. But Bella asked the question, once the gelato is done and y'all figure out how to fix the gelato, are you still going to come around Iris? And Iris is just like, I don't want to say anything. Like, this is a conversation for you to have with your dad. And so she confronts Gio about it. She's like, your sister wants to know, like, where am I in her life? And he kind of says, like, because of everything we've been through, her mother dying and stuff, I just want to be guarded, and I just don't want to bring you into her life if I don't know it's for good. So, like, let's hold off on all of that. And that is where I was left off at. Iris is kind of confused because she's just like, yeah, you're kind of right. So Iris is wondering, is she going to be alone forever? I enjoyed these 100 pages. I enjoy these 100 pages so much. I'm going to pretend like the relationship aspect of this is not a little rushed and underdeveloped, because I am going to be honest. They just start, like, I thought this was going to be a really slow burn. Like, they weren't going to get together to like the last 50 pages, but like All of a sudden they just having sex. They go from literally, I honestly believe, having like no sexual tension, no relationship chemistry, and then all of a sudden they're having sex. They love each other so much. It was so abrupt. I thought it would, when they kissed after the family dinner, I thought it was a dream sequence. Because I was just like, when the hell he started liking you like this? Like, you obviously know because this is a romance book they like each other. But I don't know if on the page it was given that they were so mad for each other. But I'm willing to excuse that because it's so cute. Now that they're like together, there's cute banter going on with them. The sexual scenes I think are good and tastefully done. I'm enjoying their relationship. I'm enjoying Iris and her relationship with her landlord / best friend. That is really cute. Her trying to figure out what she wants to do with her life. By the way, we have not gotten any flashbacks anymore to what the hell was going on with her mama in Santos. So that must have just been a one-off thing. Because we have not gotten any of that ever again. But this was a good 100 pages. I am enjoying this book. I am really enjoying this book. This is easy to read. Is it giving Christmas? No. It's not giving Christmas. It's not giving Christmas. But it's also like not huge Christmas vibes, you know? No one has brought up Christmas yet. But that makes sense because we're actually following this through seasons. So like it was Valentine's Day and then it was September and now it's Thanksgiving and then we'll get to Christmas in the last 100 pages. So that's that on that. Anyways, I am about to go do my hair. I realized time is just moving. If I don't do my hair today, I will never do my hair. And I need to do my hair because I'm booked for the next week. So I can't do my hair. So I'm about to go wash my hair and put braids in my hair. So the next time y'all see me, actually, I'm going to have braids. So I will talk to you guys later because I kind of need to get that done. I'm trying to get it done as quick as possible. So yeah, I'm going to go do that. I will talk to you guys later. Guys, this is you guys' first time like actually seeing me today, and I have another 100 pages of a winter in New York to update you guys on after I ate my breakfast, which was coffee and pizza. Stay with me, child. I decided to read another 100 pages and let's get on into them. So where I left you guys off at, they had like a weird, like, what's gonna happen to us once we are no longer, you know, doing the gelato stuff. She performed with his daughter at her school's like recital. Well, she's kind of still like, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm still going to try to date Gio. Let's see what comes of it. She's still lying about everything. And she gets a text. She gets a text from her ex-husband who ain't dead. He just was abusive. And he's just like, I saw you on a YouTube channel and I'm going to come pay you a visit. So Bella, Gio's daughter, made a YouTube channel and put the recital up on the YouTube channel. The husband saw it, the ex-husband saw it, and now he texts Iris and was like, I'm gonna come. This kind of like sends her life on like this spiral because she's just like, I don't want him to come to New York. I don't want him to know where I live. So she goes over to Gio's shop and it's just like, we can't be together. It's not going to happen. Things are going to be convoluted. In her mind, she's doing this because she lied. She knows she lied about her husband. She knows she's lying about the recipe. And she just is used to being alone. And so she's just like, this is never going to work. And so she tells him, like, we should break up. But then she is walking through the streets and she sees this woman who is being verbally abused by her partner. And it kind of gives her an epiphany. She needs to go to Tiffany's, that she needs to stand up to Adam, her ex-husband, and she shouldn't let Adam, like, fuck her life over. So Gio comes and pays her a visit and is like, I don't think you meant what you said when you said you wanted to break up. And she was like, no, I didn't. And so they decide to still be together. They end up going to Coney Island and doing this like Christmas Day little parade festival thingy. It's cute. Got another little cute moment with them. But then there's a surprise party for Bella because it's her birthday. And when they're doing the surprise party, guess who walks in? Felipe. Felipe is Gio's dad, the guy who was in the band with Iris's mama, and Santos' brother, right? Because Santos is the boy that Iris is in love with and who do the gelato, who's in a coma. He's not in a coma, but stay with me. And Felipe is Gio's dad and Santos' brother and was in the band with Iris' mama. Felipe immediately recognizes Iris. Immediately is just like, I know who your mama is. You not fooling me. So they kind of like have this like little like, she gets weird because she knows that Felipe has noticed her. So she leaves the party early. Well, one day she's at the noodle shop. Felipe walks in and like, let's chat. And they get to chatting and he's like, I'm going to guess it's not a coincidence. You show up to my family's restaurant. You look like your mama. What's going on with all of this? So she kind of tells Felipe everything that happened. And we realize Felipe not really that bad of a guy. Like at his core, he's not really that bad of a guy. But he does tell her like, you need to tell Gio what's going on. You're going to hurt his feelings. Our family doesn't do well with secrets. Like, you really need to come around. He doesn't give her a hard deadline, but like there's a hard deadline and he going to have to start telling some secrets of his own to the family. And so she's just like, okay, I'll tell them. But we don't know when she's going to tell them. In the meantime, Adam is still sending her messages like, girl, I need to come see you because what's the name got drunk. Iris got drunk and sent him a text message back like, don't play with me, little boy. And so he's just like, oh, you hurt my feelings. Like, I really should come pay you a visit on Christmas. So he gonna come on Christmas. You know he gonna come on Christmas. And so Felipe and her actually start bonding. He comes over and it's like, there's some stuff that I have of your mom's in storage that you might want to see. So they go to the storage unit and she finds a bunch of old pictures and stuff from her mom that really, hit at her heart. And then the last 100 pages kind of ends with Santos. Santos is walking around again. He's not in a coma. He's walking around and he sees Iris working at the shop and immediately recognizes her. And it's like, Vivian, that's Iris' mama, Vivian. She's like, no, I'm not Vivian. I'm Vivian's daughter. And he's like, where is Vivian? She's like, she died 3 years ago. And it's a whole thing. But Santos is really like taking her in. And yeah, we get a really good flashback. We get a flashback to 1985, which is 10 years after Vivian and Santos met. And basically, Vivian actually goes to the shop and she sees Santos with Maria, which is Santos' wife. And guess who's there? Gio. Now, she thinks Gio is Vivian, Gio is Maria and Santos' son, but it's not. That's his nephew. But she sees them and sees that they're happy, so she doesn't confront Santos and say, like, I miss you. I always came back. But what we learn is that Iris and Gio actually have met each other. Because they're little kids, they like run up to each other when they see each other in the restaurant because they're toddlers. And they met each other before, which explains why in the beginning of the story, Gio was like, you look familiar. I feel like I've seen you somewhere. Like, it's cute. Like, it's cute. It's cute story stuff, you know? So we find out they have met one another. And that's kind of how this chapter ends. We know that Santos now knows that she's back. So basically, everybody knows what's going on, except for Gio, who kind of need to know the most. You guys, this main character is lying for no reason. We're at the point, you guys know I love a main character who is lying. It's one of my favorite things in books. But there always becomes a point where the main character is lying for no fucking reason. Like, lying for no reason. We are now at lying for no reason territory. When they went to that Christmas festival in Coney Island, she talks about Adam, her ex-husband. And Gio says, yeah, it's hard to remember the good times and the bad times about someone, especially when they're dead. This is the perfect time to tell him, like, see, he ain't really dead. Like, this is the moment. This is the moment. This is the time. Like, Gio doesn't seem like he would be mad that this dude is not dead. Like, she could just come out and say it. And then the gelato thing, now that Santos is here, you now can just be like, so I had the gelato recipe that my mom had. And like, I don't even know if you necessarily, there's a way to handle this too that's not continuously lying. Like, she keeps lying about it. And now, just come clean, girl. Now that Santos and Felipe are here, confront Gio and be like, so, let me tell you why I really came into your shop one day. It's not that bad of a lie. And you still, like, the worst thing you've done is stay and help them try to figure out their recipe. Now, you would kind of piss me off. It's kind of somebody helping you look for something they stole. Like, we did all this guessing and shit, and you had the recipe all along. That would piss me off, but like, I'll get over it. But that's the worst thing. But I'm still enjoying this because now we got mess. Now that Adam is back, we got some good old-fashioned mess amongst us. So I'm here. I'm enjoying this. This is like a really, like, for a Christmas book, I'm enjoying this. So we have 50 pages left, and I'm believing I'm going to give this 4 stars. But we'll see. We'll see. So this is what we're going to do for the rest of the vlog. I need to open up a Christmas gift I got for myself, which is books. Then we got to finish the last 50 pages of this. And that's the end of this vlog. Ooh, I have to wrap a gift. I have to wrap a gift. Wrap a gift. Open up a gift with you guys. And then the last 50 pages of this book. Then we'll wrap this up. Merry Christmas and to all a good night. Okay? That's what we're going to do. Peace. is Christmas, and I feel like it is only right if I show you guys some Christmas books I bought myself. So I wanted to get myself a bunch of books, and so I placed an order on Barnes & Noble during Black Friday. And you guys, if you guys knew how long it took for this package to get to my house, it went all over. It ended up being in my city, and then for some reason they sent it all the way to like Indiana or someplace, and then it had to come back to me. It took me a month to get these books, but this is probably the biggest book purchase I have done all year at one time. So I am just going to show you what the books are. The first book that I bought, look at this cover. Look how beautiful this is. This is called Pod. It is by Laylene Paul. I am not sure what this book is about at this point, but I wanted to get it. You guys know whenever I give you guys hauls or whatever, I don't really talk about what they're about because I don't know what they're about until I get into them. But if you want to know what you're going to see some vlogs for next year, you will see Pod. The next book that I got was The Fall of Whit Rivera by Crystal Maldonado. I have read 2 books from this author, enjoyed the hell out of both of them. Therefore, I just felt like I had to get another one, and so I got this one. I cannot wait to read that. The next book I got was Pineapple Street. You want to know how I constantly say the Reese Witherspoon book club has always led me astray? It's getting to the point where the Good Morning America book club is also leading me astray. So I get a little weary when I see this sticker, but this is by Jenny Jackson. I've heard good things about it, and now I got my hands on it. It's been a while since I feel like I bought books not secondhand, so it feels so good to get my hands on new books. The next book I got was from, I saw it on the New York Times, Hope. I have no clue what this book is about. It is by Andrew Ridker. By the way, when I say I have no clue what these books are about, of course I read the synopsis before I purchased them. I just don't buy books because of their cover. It's just at this point, I don't know nothing about the book, and I've kind of moved on from it. So like, I read the synopsis, liked it, bought it, but at this point, I don't know. I would just have to read it, and because I own it now, like, what am I going to do? This is called Hope. I will say I thought this book was a lot smaller than it is when I purchased it, but hey, Hope. The next book I purchased, this was just because every place I saw this book at, even secondhand, it was at a high price. So if I just got it in paperback and it was like 50% off, I might as well. Know My Name by Chanel Miller. Of course, this book is older, so there's no reason for me to have paid like gotten this book new. But like I said, all the secondhand options online had this book still being expensive. And then this book come out in like, what year was this published? In 2019. It was published in 2019. So I'm just like, there's no reason for me to pay that much money for it. So it was, the best option was to get it new. The next book I got was You Bleeding Childhood. You Bleeding Childhood. This is another book I think I saw on the Times. It is by Michelle Maury. It is a translated work. And look how nice the cover is. This is kind of all my like weirder books, literary fiction-y books, books that win awards. That's kind of what I like to do like Barnes & Noble haul for. That's what I got. The next book, ooh, I did buy this book. I was thinking I may not have. I got Fire Rush. Fire Rush was longlisted or maybe even shortlisted for the Women's Prize. It is by Jacqueline Crooks. Heard good things about this. The most recent Women's Prize list, I have enjoyed every book I've read on it. So think Trespasses, The Bandit Queens, Demon Copperfield, I'm reading right now and enjoying it. What else? Trespasses, The Bandit Queens, Demon Copperfield. There's another book that's on that made that list that I also enjoyed, but I have enjoyed most of the books that have come from that, and yeah, hopefully Fire Rush. Also Pod. I think Pod is also was shortlisted for the Women's Prize or longlisted for the Women's Prize. I could be wrong. The next book is a memoir because I plan on doing a memoir video. We're going to read Kerry Washington, we're going to read Jada Pinkett Smith, and we're going to read Sophia Sinclair, How to Say Babylon. Heard nothing but good things about this year. This made Obama's best books of the year, whatever that means. The next book we got is 100% because of Goodreads, and because I was reading a list of some published, maybe even the Times, the best books of 2023, and Blackouts by Justin Torres was on the list. I believe this book was nominated for the National Book Award. It got some big nomination. And I've heard a lot of people haven't read this book, but the people who have read this book says it's brilliant. So I will be reading it. I feel like next year I'm going to read heavier books. Of course, bullshit. I hate when that happens. Kenya, how does that happen? You end up putting the book in your cart twice on accident, and now you have two of the same book. So I'm going to have to take that back to Barnes & Noble and get my damn money back. The next book I bought was something nowhere near as heavy as the rest of those. We have by Sonora Reyes, and it is the Luis Ortega Survival Club. I have read 2 books from this author, I think, or maybe just 1 book from this author. But yeah, I've been wanting to get this for a while. It was in my Barnes & Noble cart. I checked out on it. A book I shouldn't have bought because I didn't realize it was this freaking big. The Bee Sting by Paul Murray. Heard nothing but good things about this book. This book is on a lot of people's best books of 2023, but I thought it was short. Boy, was I wrong. Okay, the words are kind of big. And I think I'm going to take on like 4 long books next year, so this will have to be one of them. And those are the books that I got for myself this holiday season. So the only blunder was 2 Fire Rush. I will return that. I have the receipt. And lastly, before I let you guys go and end this vlog, I have finished A Winter in New York. So how did this book end? This book ended with everyone meeting up on Christmas. They invited Iris to come to Christmas. And basically, they come to Christmas, and Santos pulls Iris to the side and says, I do not want you to tell Gio about what happened with your mother getting the recipe, because he doesn't want people to look down on him for giving away the recipe, and he doesn't want his wife to be weird about him having a first love before him, because he never even gave her the recipe. So he doesn't want any of this. And so she kind of takes that as like an invitation to like leave, like he doesn't want me here. So she like leaves the Christmas party early. Before she goes, Felipe, which is Santos' brother and Gio's dad, gives her a Christmas card, and in the Christmas card it is like a key to a storage unit or something. So she ends up packing up all her stuff from her apartment and going to sleep in a storage unit for a couple days or something. And then finally Gio finds her and it's like, leave the storage unit. She goes home. They kind of have this like, we're not talking to each other anymore. She texts him, he doesn't respond. But one day Sophia, which is Gio's cousin, comes, who also works at the gelato shop, comes and is like, y'all need to make up. Everybody has baggage, it's not that deep. So she's like, you know what, at least before I leave, because she decides she's leaving New York. Before I leave, I can say goodbye to everyone. So she goes to say bye to Gio, but someone knocks on her door and she thinks it is Gio coming. And then when she opens the door, of course, it's her ex-husband, Adam. Adam does some weird stuff as if he's about to like abuse her, harm her. Everyone from Gio's family, the cousin, Felipe, Santos, everybody and their mama, and Bobby, her friend who like owns the whole building, comes and they basically jump Adam. Adam gets jumped, and that's kind of the story. Adam leaves with his tail between his legs. And Gio and Iris make up. They explain everything. He's just like, girl, so you was trying to help me with a recipe you already knew? Like, why didn't you tell me? Everything ends up fine in the end with all of that. Did anything else really happen? No, I don't think anything else really happened. We get an epilogue. They're together. They're cute. That's the end of the story. 3.5 out of 5 stars. I think the last 50 pages are a little like, whoa. We set up a good story, and like this could have ended up a 4, but it's just not there yet. So you know what? In the end, 3.5 out of 5. But I did enjoy myself. For a Christmas novel, I did enjoy myself. But I don't think this book is that Christmassy. It's one of those books like, it's not like, it feels like they almost went back and forth on if it should be a Christmas novel. It doesn't fully commit to the idea to me of being a Christmas novel. It's not that Christmassy. Like, even when it's Christmas, it's not that much Christmas. So, and on the Christmas vibes. I did enjoy the story. Anything else? Like I said, the ending was really weird. The relationship was a little underdeveloped for me. But that's that on that. We are done. We are done. I am going to put on my Christmas pajamas. I am going to watch Home Alone 2 and The Grinch, and I'm going to enjoy my night. I want to make some Christmas cookies, and so I am going to say bye-bye to you guys. What you guys can look forward to is my best, worst, disappointing, surprising, and unhaul of the year, and I will see you guys in those videos, okay?